Hi folks, this is Jeff. I study with the NJHFA, and today I'm going to be giving you my review of the Cold Steel Italian longsword. Just a disclaimer, I bought this on my own. I have no connection with Cold Steel. They're not paying me for this. I just wanted to do this review. So I've had it for about a year and a half. Obviously I've done a bit of cutting with it. So first a word about the sword. As you can see, it's a pretty attractive sword. I really like the shape of the pommel. It's also very good for grasping. Comes with a pretty basic sheath. All it really does is it's a sheath. It doesn't have any attachment points, anything like that. However, when I buy a sword, I would much rather get a nice sword than a fancy sheath. So as you can see, it's an attractive sword. The leather one-piece grip is good, although it does have a seam running down here, as you can see. So when you remove the sword, you can see this is the man-at-arms version. It will have a little bit of residue from the sheath, which is no big deal. You just wipe it off. Had it for about a year and a half, and as you can see, it's pretty much still tight. No big wobbles, no shakes, no rattles, nothing like that. Now, as we all know, when a sharp sword comes in the mail, it's not sharp enough for cutting. So you can either professionally sharpen it, you can take it to someone you know who may be a bladesmith, you can get out the whetstone. I didn't do any of that. What I did was I used my trusty AccuSharp knife and blade sharpener. This puts a beautiful 20-degree bevel on it. If you're like me, I can't get a consistent bevel down the edge of a 6-inch knife, much less a 3-foot sword. So this is like your best friend. When it comes to the weight and balance of the sword, I like it. I think it's very close to probably the historical swords. It moves very well. It's very easy, very balanced, not point heavy. And the grip. Also, the pommel lets you really manipulate it however you want. Flat, side, however you want to grasp it, pretty much will do it. Now, how do we test this sword? Well, I think cutting some things is a good test. So today I'm going to be cutting some bottles, be trying to use a combination long edge, short edge cuts, different grips, and let's see how it performs. Like with any sword, it has a sweet spot. For this sword, you want to hit it from about here out. It is not sharpened for the first, I would say, 3 inches up here. So you could, if you wanted to, grasp it here safely and thrust. The sword shape is also very good for thrusting. And as you can see, not sure how well this shows up, it's got a beautiful flattened diamond profile, optimized for a cut and thrust sword. So let's go ahead and do some testing. We have some standard water bottles here. I went ahead and sharpened it last night. Obviously I've done quite a bit of cutting with it, so let's see how it performs. So, just a standard water bottle cut. I'll take that. So, as you can see, if you hit it correctly, you make a good stroke, you make a good swing. You see that? I caught about right there. The blade does reward you with a nice cut. I would say the only thing is, it is not a very forgiving blade. You can see here it's not very, very wide at the ricasso. So you really need to hit it correctly, which to my mind is not a terrible thing. If you make a good move on it, you'll get a good result out of it. It's not optimized for a competition cutter, but for the price, I don't think there's a deal out there that can equal it. So now I'll attempt to do a short edge cut. Now I'll attempt to do a better short edge cut. Again, I'll take that any day. Long edge cut. Again, I'll take it. The blade shape, also very good for thrusting. So if I do a thrust, you can see it goes all the way through, no problem at all. And that was a thick water bottle, so obviously I didn't make a good move on it. Let's try for a better one here. Nice. Try for another one. Not bad. So, let's see how we do on the big boys. So, first I'll try some long edge cuts, then I'll try some short edge cuts. And as you can see, hit it correctly. The top of the bottle fell into the bottom of the bottle. Exactly what you want with. So you can also see, look at how nice and clean that cut is. No tearing, no ripping. The sword itself did all the work, went right through the bottle. So I'll try for a second cut here. A little less successful. So now I'll try for a short edge cut on the bottle. Let's see how it goes. And again, when you make a good stroke, you're rewarded with a good cut. When you don't make a good move on it, such as the one I just batted out there, you don't get a good result. So that was a short edge cut. Again, very, very clean. So now I'll try for a combination. Short edge, long edge cut. And I see the camera's getting a little wet. Let's hope it doesn't get too wet. So I'm going to try for short edge, followed up with a long edge. So I'll take both of those cuts. Try for another one. As you can see, very, very clean cut. So let's wipe off the camera. A little better. So we have one big bottle left to cut. Not sure of the material, not sure how it's going to go through it. Let's find out. Again, I'll try a short edge cut. Thicker material, made a good move on it. Again, a nice, smooth cut. Not such a good move on that one. So, let's go ahead and end this little review video on some double bottle cuts. So I'll be attempting to cut through both bottles. So again, nice, clean, smooth cuts, both bottles. And as a final cut for this video, I'm going to see if I can do the extremely difficult 3-bottle cut. So, let's see how this works out. So, one last cut. And there we go. So in summary, I would say that this, for the price, I paid, I think, about $2 1/4 for it. This is the Cold Steel Man-at-Arms version. I think this is a pretty damn good bargain. And in terms of fun per your cutting dollar, I don't think you can beat it. So this has been my first video review. I hope you guys like it. I hope someone finds it helpful.